Hi, welcome to ZUNI. Today we're going to talk about classes and how to add students. So we're going to begin with over here on the left navigation, take a look at classes and assignments. You're simply going to click into here and you will see a variety of tabs at the top. My Classes shows a list of any classes that I've already created. If I want to add a new class or don't have a class yet, I can simply click Add a Class over here. In this tab, we have non-class assignments. So this might be if you just want to assign something to an individual student separate from a class, or maybe teachers are going to share back and forth. So this will just be for individual assignments. Google Classroom allows you to go ahead and sync your Google Classroom into here as well, so you can access and move through Google Classroom right from this same section, Classes and Assignments. Gradebook is coming in the future, and you can even archive classes or assignments in case you want to keep pieces of it for the next year. Let's go back to My Classes. In this section, like we talked about, you can add a class. So we'll go through step 1 to add a class. If we have imported students for you, you will already have a class called My Students. But in case not, or you want to create a new class, just come in. I'm going to say new class. I can add a description. Notice right here is a code. This code is what I'm going to use to be able to provide for my students if they want to be able to just put a code into ZUNI and be able to log in through in that direction. But we'll talk more about that in just a minute. So I've created my class. I'm going to come down to my right corner and click Save. Now I'm going to be asked if I want to add my students at this moment. So I'm going to click Yes. Notice over here this tab is highlighted, User Management. When I click on a class and I come right in, it will always open up to current assignments. So if you wanted to work with users and be able to add a new student or edit any of your current students, just come to the User Management tab. So I can move between these tabs, and over here will be the User Management tab. So you can see, since this is a new class, I don't have any assignments yet. This would be upcoming assignments I've created but scheduled into the future, and this will be my past due assignments. Any resources I want to add to particular assignments can be here as well. But again, today we're going to talk about user management. So I've created my class and I have a code. I can manually add a student, or oftentimes we import for a district or a school. That can be done as well. But if you're adding an individual student, you will do so by sending them a code or by manually adding a user. So let's say if I want to manually add a user, I can click into this manually add a user. And this is only going to be used if the user does not exist in the system. So a new student moves to the district, you can come and manually add that student right here. You're going to place their first name, last name, email is optional, phone is optional. The user role, because you are a teacher, will automatically already be identified for you. And the username will be whatever your format is that you've created. And the password, make it the same as another username and password that they're using for another system. There's no need to create something different for ZUNI. And they'll have their state and district will already be here. And then you're just going to select their schools, and then you're going to select Save. So if I wanted to come in and put a test student in, I'll just type their first name, test student. I don't have to put an email. I'm creating my information. You will not have to select this. I'm as a user admin. So I'm going to select that I'm going to have a student. Expiration date will automatically be populated. You won't have to worry about that. As I mentioned, this will already be populated for you as well. As an admin, so I'm going to populate it. Or if you're an admin putting in for your district, you may use this at this time. And then I can select a grade. Parent information is optional. You can add it or not. We're going to be using that more in the future. And click Save. So I can see the student has been added successfully. Do I want to add another user? Not right now. Again, manually add a user is for that student who does not exist in the system at all. If I have a student who's maybe moving between schools, they're already in the system, I can search that user right here. I can type in just a demo and find that demo. So if I want to look for one of my demo students, and then I could just select the role, it's going to be student. And if I wanted to select a grade, I can select a grade and select search. and drop down right below is going to be all of the demo students we have. So I can select 1, 2, or 3, or no students here. If this student already existed in the class, I would not be able to select. So then I can just click Save. So that's an easy way. Oftentimes we departmentalize, so maybe the students are in the system, but we need to add them, switch them into each of our teachers' classes. This is an easy way to do that. If I'm working with students from 3rd grade to 5th grade, and this is the first time a student's going to add to a class, or even if I'm just, again, departmentalizing and want to add a student, I can click Send Code. I can email that directly to a student, or I can copy and paste it and put it on the board, and then that will show the student how to get in. So I'm going to copy it because I'm going to demonstrate to you how a student is going to be able to get in. And so I can just simply click Save. So managing your users is very easy. We make it super friendly, so if somebody's new to the district, you can add them easy. You don't have to wait. If you need to edit a user, you can simply click and remove them if you want to remove it. You can click inside that student and change anything you need. So if you need to change your username or password, you have the capability as a teacher to be able to do that. We cannot print passwords. It's due to security, but you can print and see the list of your students' usernames. So I'll show you how to print your list of usernames. Simply click right here, and you can print. You will just have a student option, and I can click Print. And it's going to put it into a nice PDF format that I can then take a look at and know what every student's username is. So again, keep that format very consistent with something that you already use so that it's not confusing. And here's the student's name, the student's username, the role, and the grades that they have selected. So you can see that nice and easy. We'll cancel that. And let's go take a look at what it looks like if a student logs in. If you are accessing ZUNI from the main website, you will have this login screen. But many users are accessing from a custom URL that will look more like this with their district information here and then logging in information here. Notice this button over here, Join a Class. Are you a student joining a classroom? Please go to Join Class. The same option exists right down here if you're logging in from the main ZUNILearningTree.com site. So if you're logging in from here and I click Join Class, or from here, Join Class, I'm going to have an opportunity to just simply put in the code that I just shared with them, and I can click Submit. This is the way I'm going to do it if it's a brand new student to the system. Again, only if the student does not exist in ZUNI, then I'm going to give them the code and they will log in from that option. So I'm going to make a test student 65. And select a grade. Very important for them to select to get grades. Sometimes they forget. And click Sign Up. And now you can see the student is logged into the system. So this is what they'll do if it happens to be the very first time that they have logged in to ZUNI at all. If it's a different scenario where they actually already do have a username and password for ZUNI, but they just need to join multiple teachers' classrooms, they'll simply come up to their profile, and here they'll have this option to join class, and they'll just simply type in the code, and that will automatically put them in a different teacher's class. So this is they're already in ZUNI. They go into here, click Submit. They're already going to be in that class now. So if that had been a different code, they would show up in Miss McCord's class and Miss Slunder's class. So that's how you can have students in multiple classes. Multiple classes is simply just joining through the profile option right here. And signing up into the ZUNI for the very first time, new student to the system, is going to be at this sign-in section. So if I'm just adding my students to multiple classrooms, join a class. If it's the first time to a system, then they're going to click Join a Class here. So that's all you need to do to be able to add your students to the system and get them into ZUNI, and you will be ready to roll. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we will continue on our training session. Thank you.